Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So I'm here with Blondie's babies and Blondie. Everyone is still doing very well. I checked her milk production and it had definitely increased. So I think we're good there. Everyone's been nice, quiet, and full. I wanted to address some of the concerns that people have had. There's been some questions about whether or not Blondie will maintain her spot in the pack, or if we're going to keep Blondie now that she's retired and spayed. And so I did want to take the time to answer some of those questions. So Blondie is a pet for us. She's a permanent part of our family. Originally, she was a gift to my daughter. I had kept a separate female, a black female, by the name of Midnight, from the same litter as my potential breeding prospect. But I went ahead and I health tested both of them just on the off chance that we could use her. And her sister ended up, her name was Midnight, she ended up having a hormone, like basically a hormone imbalance during her first heat cycle that caused her to develop a condition called hyperplasia. And it can be very dangerous, actually life-threatening, because the dogs can self-mutilate. And so I feel like I should not have said that word.
What?
Well, I guess we'll see what the YouTube gods do. What the algorithm does. So, but it is true. They see it as like this foreign body. It causes the lining of the inside of the vaginal opening to swell to the point that it protrudes, and it's like a partial prolapse, and and a lot of times the dogs will fixate on it, and it's not a good thing. So we spayed her and we rehomed her because she was a puppy, and she was like, what, maybe 9 or 10 months old, and it just would not have been fair, because when you have a pack of unaltered animals, particularly a breeding group, when you have an animal that has never reproduced, particularly one that was higher up in the pack like Midnight, and then you take away those hormones, the other dogs kind of see that as being inferior, and there can be problems. The dog can get picked on a lot. And so I elected to rehome her into a pet home where she's very happy to this day, and I get picture updates all the time. Midnight, however, or pardon me, Blondie, however, is the current alpha of my pack. She's going to be 4 years old in April, and she's had 3 litters. She has a daughter and a son in this pack, and will also be having 2 daughters, or potentially 2 daughters out of this litter. So, and they love and respect her. So I don't know whether or not Blondie will maintain her position. There's no way for me to know that. My theory, my hypothesis is that she will not falter from her spot, because she's older and who she is kind of set in her ways. And her offspring, I feel, will probably maintain those bonds. But like I said, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I really genuinely don't know. What I can tell you is that if the position changes, so long as it's done without aggression, then it will be what it is. You know what I mean? The only thing that I prevent in my pack is violent ascension within the pack. You don't get to do that. We don't use violence or aggression, or physical aggression, in my pack to do anything. And so anyway, so I force my dogs to do things differently. So anyway, so, you know, I don't know. You know, I love Blondie very much. She's a big part of my family. I never imagined that she would have the role in my pack and in my breeding program that I thought, I never thought that I would use her this way, or that she would have this kind of impact. She's only been bred 3 times. But even though I've put her to different sires each time, although I will say this time that doesn't quite count, she's produced really fantastic puppies, and she's passed on one of the things that to me is the best thing about her, which is her fantastic temperament. Blondie is one of the sweetest Corso that I've ever had. She doesn't care about herself. Like, Cashmere, fantastic dog, right? Fantastic dog. Love her to death. But when she comes up to you for affection, it's like, it's not about you, it's about her, you know? And so she'll come up to you, and then she'll immediately turn around and give you her butt, and she wants you to scratch her butt. And then she'll go wherever the affection is, okay? And Blondie is not like that. Blondie will come up and just cuddle with you. She just wants to be with you, near you. She really loves you, loves to love you, if that makes sense. And it's the same way with Nirvana, and it's the same thing with Hefe. They are such devoted dogs, and they don't actually have the stubbornness that a lot of the Corso have. They do actually have a willingness to please. It's not necessarily a willingness to do work like a Malinois would want to, or like a Shepherd would want to. But I've never tried to do that with them either. I will say that. Preacher does, but Preacher's also a very stubborn dog. And so, and I'll just be honest, when you have as many Corso as I have, and particularly stubborn dogs as I have, having a dog that is easier to get along with is just, it's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't want Labradors. I would definitely get bored. And Hefe has actually been one of my harder dogs to train recently, because he's, stuck in between a man and a boy and doesn't know who he is or what he wants to be. And I've just had to do a lot of training with him. So not everything is easier, but it's just nice when you have a dog that is that devoted to you like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. Like, for example, I wish I could have gotten that on camera. I swear it would have went crazy viral. Because it was kind of like, in my mind, I thought to myself, like, if only people got to see moments like that, like, they would just love this breed. So, Nirvana was laying on the floor, sleeping. She was laying just like she is now. She was laying right here, sleeping, and I was sitting right here. And trying to find something to watch on the TV. And she started to have a nightmare. And I could tell she was having a nightmare. So I woke her up. I just spoke her name softly and called her to me. And then she immediately came over to me, and I was just loving on her. And, she'll do this thing where she'll kind of like put both of her feet like around you. So she's not on top of you, but she's like, kind of hugging you. And she just sat there and just hugged me. And I don't know if it was because she was having a bad dream and she knew that I woke her up and she recognized that and she was appreciative and came up and hugged me. I don't know. I felt like she did because just of the way that she reacted. But it was such a special little moment, you know what I mean? And like, I don't think not all of my dogs would do that. Even if I woke them up, they would look at me, okay, whatever, and go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? There's just something special about Blondie babies. That's all I can tell you.
School is really sweet too.
Yeah, and this is what I think, because you guys know that I'm a religious person. I feel like sometimes we get tested, and we get these kind of like trick questions or trick tests or whatever. And I think that I had the opportunity not to breed Blondie. Like, there was nothing inherently wrong with her. She just wasn't the prettiest dog, right? Like, her face is very, non-typical. So I had this moment where I could have not bred her. I could have listened, because there was a lot of pressure on me not to breed her. And even after I did, even to this day, people still talk trash about the fact that I bred Blondie, even though her daughter, out of her first litter, is grand champion puppy of the year. Okay, took second at nationals against a lot of dogs. And a lot of people, like, I've even seen haters like try to say that her accomplishment doesn't mean anything because, a lot of people weren't showing during COVID, and so there wasn't a lot of competition, which personally, I haven't looked at the numbers of previous.
I don't know, I think people have more time to show dogs now.
Well, yeah, possibly. Well, a lot of the shows aren't open, but what I will tell you is that at the shows that I was at, there was a lot of people that wouldn't normally have been there. So people were out showing. They may not have been showing in those areas, but they were. But regardless of that, if she wasn't that nice of a dog, she wouldn't have beat the dogs that she did at nationals. That's just the truth of it. She wouldn't have beat the dogs that she did. So for me, I feel, like trusting my intuition and breeding her specifically for her temperament. I remember us laying on the couch, or no, it was on my bed, and I was cuddling with her, and it was like wintertime, and it was just really cozy, and she was just sitting there cuddling with me, and I was just like, man, like, this right here is what it's about. You know what I mean? I was like, this right here is what it's about, and like, I was like, nobody, you can't tell me that this isn't worth breeding. Like, this temperament is fantastic, particularly in a breed that has temperament issues, Why wouldn't you breed a dog with a good temperament? And I got rewarded, even though I had everybody telling me don't do it, even friends, don't do it. Did it anyway, boom, got Nirvana, right? Fantastic dog. Got Hefe, even out of a different sire, fantastic dog. And now we have these Manmortigan and potentially Batista puppies, and we'll see what we get here. And they already look really nice. And I just feel like sometimes you get tested, and you have these moments where you either listen to everyone around you, or you have faith in what you've learned and in yourself and in your intuition, and you do what you feel is right. And I felt like that was what this moment was for me and Blondie. And I feel like I got rewarded for that. And I'm very happy to have the dogs that I have out of her. And I hope to maintain her fantastic temperament. Because I get compliments on it everywhere I go. I got compliments on her temperament at the vet. They were talking about how great she was. I got compliments on Nirvana's temperament the whole time. When she was showing, her handler loved her. Everybody loves her. When we got her hips tested, everybody loved her. I mean, I took, 3 dogs in to get their hips tested at one time. I took Nirvana, Valak, and Vitani all together. And it was Nirvana that they were talking about, how much they love Nirvana. And, you know, and she's all that, but yet she's also protective. You guys have seen it. You know what I mean? She's ran and challenged. And, I mean, they're just very all around really good dogs. And I'm just very thankful for them. And I really hope to continue this, you know, this element of my program for years to come. So I'm gonna end it there on that little sentimental note. Blondie's staying right here. I love her. If I had to, you know, if I had to just have her in my bed, like whatever it would take, you know what I mean? She would stay in this house. You know what I mean? She's not going anywhere. She's earned that right. She's you know, we have the space now. That's another big part of it. We have the space now.
Although we were always planning on keeping Blondie.
We were always planning on keeping Blondie. And it's important to recognize that, you know, I do have limited space, obviously. I mean, I have a bigger house now, so I can have more pets, whereas before I couldn't because all my dogs were inside. But so now I have the luxury of keeping back dogs that are just pets. But obviously, you know, for us, like when we have a female that is like, for example, like Suki, who's outside, Trinity, and even Zoe, I think all of those dogs will eventually be rehomed when they're retired because they're not inside dogs. And I feel that it would be fairer to them for them to be in inside homes with owners. It's just not, those are dogs that just don't really do as well in a pack setting like this. You know what I mean? Not everybody can do the pack setting thing and have it work out well.
Oh, she cares so much about her.
I know, she loves them. She's like, she is, you know, the best mother. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. And I'll talk at you later. Bye.